So how does a billion-dollar brand and company go into bankruptcy? How does a company that was so celebrated and synonymous with online shopping is now trending for closing stores and treating employees less than fair? Morphe tapped into the beginning of influencing and that golden era. But those same influencers, controversy, and changing times ended up costing them big time. Let's study 3 things that we can learn from Morphe that ultimately ruined their brand. Morphe was founded in 2008 by Chris and Linda Towle. Their brand quickly rose to popularity by selling makeup brushes that were quality at an affordable price and using popular influencers, especially YouTubers, as affiliates to sell their makeup and products. With these popular influencers reviewing their products and giving them codes, they were pushing their makeup brushes and products, and they quickly rose to a prominent brand in the beauty industry, especially online. But their first mistake was going from quality and decent products to poor quality. After working with popular YouTuber Jaclyn Hill for years, Morphe and Jaclyn collaborated to release her first eyeshadow palette in 2017. The makeup palette was a great success and sold out within hours. But by the time they got around to releasing the second palette, they had changed the formulation of the products, and the products were no longer vegan, even though they advertised and said that the products were. Lying about this new formulation caused great backlash, not only against Morphe, but also against Jaclyn Hill, who was synonymous and definitely one of the hugest Morphe influencers at the time. By the time Morphe tried to get ahead of this scandal, it was already too late. People had already knew, and customers were extremely upset about not only the palettes that they got, but also that they were lied to. And it led to people no longer having faith in the brand, nor in Jaclyn Hill. Also, the quality of the brushes took a huge decline, and people were no longer satisfied and no longer happy with their Morphe brushes. Customers are more educated now than ever. With so much information for your customers in the palm of your hand, you can go online and literally search ingredients, products, manufacturing. It really isn't smart to lie to your customers about your products and the ingredients that you're using. They can easily find out what ingredients and see what has changed in the quality of your products. Customers definitely notice those type of things, and cutting back on quality can also cut back on your profits and your branding in a major way. Lesson number 2, controversy. Morphe really was one of the first brands to align themselves with influencers, and they tapped in early to the market and what was going on online with these influencers having the power to really move crowds, sell products, and get people invested in the things that they really cared about. So they really helped pioneer the whole affiliate marketing system and program. But after the Jaclyn Hill debacle, Morphe continued to work with her as well as adding new influencers, and not just new influencers, but influencers who turned out to be very controversial as well. At the time, James Charles was one of, if not the most popular beauty gurus on YouTube. His palette launched, and like Jaclyn Hill's first palette, was a great hit. But Charles, much like Jaclyn, also had problems with this formulation. Charles got complaints of his palette staining people's eyes. Morphe allowed James to clap back to people online when they were complaining about their eyes being stained from their palettes. The allegations led to a class action lawsuit. When James was accused of sexual misconduct in 2021, after much public backlash, they finally cut ties with him. They also aligned themselves with another controversial YouTuber, Jeffree Star. In 2020, they cut ties with him also after his involvement with the YouTube Dramageddon scandals, and after racist comments that Jeffree had made in the past reappeared online. The scandal, like many of the other scandals, went viral. After much public backlash, they abruptly cut ties with him as well. All the negative controversy surrounding these YouTubers and other YouTubers that Morphe aligned with aligned their brand also with all that negativity that was associated with those YouTubers. In show business, they say all controversy and all press is good. But in business, that is not always the same thing. Sometimes controversy can really ruin your business, and people started aligning those scandals and controversy that those influencers were known for with the Morphe brand. Morphe could have done a better job of handling the scandals once they came out, and also probably needed to move a little bit quicker when it came to severing ties with these controversial influencers. And the last business lesson that we can learn from Morphe's quick fall from grace is rapid growth. Morphe started off as an online brand and had exponential growth. Its early adoption into social media made it extremely profitable as a direct-to-consumer brand. They first went into retail with their products already being sold in Ulta in the USA and in Sephora in Canada. So they were already in brick and mortar stores when they decided to go ahead and launch their own brick and mortar stores. When Morphe decided to open up stores, they did not start off with a few stores in big cities. In 2019, they went all in, opening multiple stores internationally at a time when brick and mortar business shopping was slowing down. Now, no one could have predicted this, but when the lockdowns happened in 2020, it really affected Morphe's brick and mortar stores. The stores took a hit, as well as people started moving more into skincare as opposed to makeup. By this time, the drama amongst the beauty gurus on YouTube had become too much, and audiences were burnt out of being sold tons of palettes with the same colors and products that they did not need. Morphe was no longer in the good graces of the public nor Gen Z. They did try to start up a skincare line and a makeup line using Charli D'Amelio and her sister, who are very popular on TikTok, but they had a hard time connecting, and they were also late to move over to TikTok when all of the beauty drama started on YouTube. Also, failed launches of other brands put Morphe into a perfect downward spiral. Morphe has now announced they're going to close all of their US stores, but it did not come again without controversy. Many of the employees went on TikTok, and those TikToks went viral because the company did not take the time to properly notify their employees nor customers about the stores no longer being in business. Morphe has said that they're going to focus on going back into e-commerce selling and wholesale. In my opinion, this is where Morphe should have stayed. They were already in some very big and profitable stores, so they already had the brick and mortar part of a business down. They really did not need to open up their own stores, in my opinion. But if they were going to open up their own stores, they probably would have did a better job instead of opening many stores all at once, concentrating and focusing on one big city at a time, and really getting their own brick and mortar process back end and front end down, so that when the pandemic and other things came, they would have been able to manage their growth more instead of allowing basically their expansion to manage them. Business growth can be great, but you have to be strategic and really manage how you grow. So share in the comments below what you are thinking about Morphe and everything that has happened so far with this company. Stay tuned. This is the first video in the series where we will be breaking down more businesses, branding, and lessons that we can get from those companies. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up, and remember to keep God first and create opportunities.